my full Batman shirt here. You can't because I lean back. Okay. Yeah, good evening. All right, so let's get some final things together here. My notes. Boom. Okay. Um, Good evening. I'm live. I YouTube, TikTok, TT. They say TT. They don't like to say. I don't know why. There's so many rules and guidelines and things that I don't understand. They say, well, no, you can't say it. You gotta say TT, and you can't say this. You can't say that. And we learned last night when we were cooking. Um, you can't hold up products and say the name of them. You got some violation. Um, I don't really need my iPad. I'm saying my iPad. I don't really need it. Um, I can read everything that's happening right here. Think you are ready for your heart. Live unique. Think you live.
You're welcome, babe.
I want to live. Hmm. So yeah, that was crazy last night. We got somebody popped in our room and we didn't know how to get them off.
Mm.
Um, and you are you watching the YouTube?
Yeah, wait, yes, I'm on YouTube. Oh, let me check the sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angie's on YouTube.
Okay. I'll let people know that I'm here so they can get in. Tell a friend, invite a friend.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can, yes. Yeah, let them know. Let the people know. Gotta let the people know. Because they have lives of their own and they forget about me. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, so good. This is good stuff. Invite one or two more people. That video is hysterical. I should show that video where he ragdolls that kid and throws him across the room. It's hysterical. Hysterical. I wonder if you can do that. Grab a video link and show it in a live. That would be so dope. Um, um, that would be so cool. What's up, Devon? How you doing? I'm gonna try that. Let me see. Let's go to first. Let me go to the video. I think that would be so funny just to be able to do that and show a video. So let me see here. What
Devon
about the
said,
video?
hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, my brother. My brother. Trying to grab this video here. I hate when it does that. When you click on a video, then when it takes you to a video. He's like, that ain't the video I clicked on. Wow, it's literally taking me where it feels like taking me. I'm gonna try one more time. Nope, it's going wherever it wants to go. And I wonder where the login is. How you doing tonight? Who in the room? Who else here?
Right now it's just me and Devon and Angie, Dr. Brown.
Dr. Brown on YouTube, you said, right?
Yep.
Well, welcome YouTube and TikTube, you and me too. This is good. I'm gonna try one more time. You know, it'd be great too if you could do a screen share. That would be nice. If you don't grab the right video this time, that's it. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm tired of you. So, got some good stuff for you tonight. I'm gonna pick up where we left off last week. Hope there's a conversation. People can get in, share some things, say some things. I need my water, Mama.
Oh, sorry, babe.
Please. Please. Today I had a very productive day. Dropped off the kids with the in-laws. Went to work. I left early and got paid in a day. In a day's work. That's nice. Mr. Brown, I got some questions to ask you. You got some questions to ask me? Well, let me let you up in here so you can ask your questions. Request yourself in here, and I'm gonna let you ask those questions while we warm it up, getting the room all toasty and everything. Get up in here with your questions. Thank you. Devon, did you want to text your question, or you want to ask your question in person? So I got some questions. Can you name 5 things that you learned from starting this journey of vision build? There you go. There you go. Correct spelling. 5 things? Why gotta be 5 things? So, you want to know, can I name 5 things that I've learned from starting this journey of vision builders? Yes. And are you asking this because this is something that you thinking about doing, or you just kind of interviewing me a little bit? Tell me what you're doing. And thank you for the likes, and definitely do some shares, get some people in. So yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts. Okay, so let me help you out. One of the first things I've thank you, sir. You're too kind. So here's what I learned. The 5 things I learned. One, and it's the most important one. Your immediate people are not your target audience. Meaning the people that are regularly in your life, and you guys coming on, that's good, but you know, my circle's small. So I had to start realizing that my target audience is going to be a ton of people I don't know. So most of my video likes and shares and saves are from people I just found out last night. My second largest following is UK. So US then UK, right? So I had to realize that when you go in to build a platform, social media, a business, your target audience is not your friends and family. They may be in your audience, but they're not your target. Your target is people that go above and beyond where you are. And right now we're at the phase of figuring out how to get to them and how to meet them, how to reach them. Um, I like people like my videos. A lot of people don't come on my live. Benelli cooks. A lot of people come in there, but her room averages around anywhere between 25 to 50 people, but over 1,000 to 2,000 people come in the room during the night. So she's got a cooking show, and the target audience is a bunch of people that she doesn't know, right? Or getting to know. That's your first thing, one thing. Two, you got to be persistent and like it or love it, do it, or either love what you do, or like Mike Tyson says, do what you hate like you love it. I actually loved coming on the lives. I actually loved talking, and so you should love, or at least learn to love doing these things because they don't pay right away. There's not money in it, and for some people it never is. So that would be two. Three, and I hope you're keeping some kind of notes. Well, it's definitely being recorded, so I can look back over them. Three, what would be the third thing? I would guess the third thing for me would be the finding your target audience is not as simple as it sounds, because when you first start, you don't even know what you're doing. So it makes you learn to grow and turn and twist with the wind until you find where you belong. Um, if I come up with two more things, I'll let you know. Um, yeah. Oh, I know it came to me. The last thing I said is doing what you love. Do it, love doing it, or at least do it like you love it. Um, the other thing was you really have to overcome like any sort of past failure or failure, right? So I give you a good example. Like I come on, I usually have the same 10 people, right? And of course, the thought comes, yep, that's just like JCMI. You're never going to go past that. That's it. And you have to really have to push past that, um, and have faith and believe in what you're doing. Like I already know Vision Build is a juggernaut. It's going to take over the world. But the moments it don't feel like it, you got to still know it. You gotta believe against all other believing. I'm gonna share something with you, Devon. I think it's gonna be very much a blessing. Um, so the Queen came to me this morning in our prayer time. She has her private time with God, and then she comes and she joins me for private time or prayer time. And she said one of the words she said she got today was, "We can plan our launches. We can set up the days that we think is going to happen. We can set our deadlines, but the bottom line is when God is ready is when he's going to bust it open. And it's not when God is ready, but when he finishes getting us ready, um, then he'll bust things open." So that ability to stay true to what you believe, this is definitely for me testing that in a way that JCMI never did, because I accepted JCMI to be, a lentil patch. But this, I don't. So to not have, I see people get on here and they talk about the stupidest stuff, and they'll have a ton of people in the room. They talk about, men versus women and Republican versus Democrat and whatever they're talking about, or just stupidity, and the room is packed. and then you get on here, you teaching something, and you feel like, where's everybody? Um, they're where they're supposed to be for now, until that changes. So, um, was that 5 things?
Mm, yeah, that sound like
If
it.
it's not 5, split one of them in half.
Half. It was a long enough to you. Yeah, like you
Yeah.
said, you can split it.
I think that was 6.
You
Okay.
covered the bases.
He says, insightful when you're taking notes. Appreciate you, Devon. Um, where's everybody tonight?
I know. We sent out to everybody.
Okay, well, you did what you could do.
The one just came in.
Who?
Welcome, the one.
Okay. Well, I don't see that here, but okay.
She just came in.
Well, good. Ruel said, hi, Mr. Brown. Hi, Ruel. How are you? Always a pleasure to hear your hello, even though sometimes I don't hear it. Well, I hear it on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is beautiful. How old is Ruel now? Is she like 6? So I said, I'm keeping track of the time right. Is she like 6 right now? Yes, look at that. See, I'm doing good. I'm a good grandpa. Hey, the one. Hey, Star Dove, Miss Michelle, and hi guys, and welcome here. So listen, last week we did protect the win, and I had more notes that I didn't get to, and I want to get to them and kind of cover them and knock them out the box. Please invite people on your side. I don't know where everybody is tonight, but definitely do some inviting, and I'm gonna get to it. Edward, you are you in for the night, or you just popping in before you have to go jump on something? Because usually you have to go take care of your own business. So Dynamic just popped in the room. Hello. You know, I think they saying, well, he usually come in about between 7 and 7:15, so we just gonna take our time coming in, and then I came in early. So see, I'll take the hit for that. Invite your friends, fam. I'm gonna go to my video, and
She said, our daughter said, I just got home. And Edward said, I'm popping in between, LLO.
yeah, I figured that. I said you popping in, popping out, but we appreciate the pops. Gotta have my pops. There you go. Now let's go. Devon asked me a very powerful question. We're gonna edit that up and play it back. I'll make a video out of it. But he said, give him 5 things.
Okay, Fontaine just joined.
Welcome, Tane. He said, tell him 5 things that I've learned or that motivated me to keep. You can see it up in the comment when you come in the comments. Can you name 5 things that you learned from starting this journey of Vision Builders? And I, of course, gave him 5 things concerning going live on social media. Now I realized that I really didn't answer the question that he asked. But even though he said it was very helpful, 5 things I learned about actually starting Vision Builders. I'll just be quick with this. Every new business or any new venture you start, you really have to treat it. And people say you got to treat it like a baby. No, you got to treat it like a pregnancy. Actually, you got to treat it like a pregnancy, and you got to treat it like a baby that's coming. And so you got prenatal care and all that stuff. You got to do to guard the vision in your heart and mind before it's actually a baby, because a lot of people don't even get past birth when they come up with a concept and an idea. And Vision Builders, if you remember, Devon wasn't around then. Vision Builders was started as men's ministry in church, and it grew where the women started saying, we want to be in this meeting, and then it grew into something else. Then it became part of a network marketing thing we were doing, and it just stayed alive and grew into this. So when you get an idea and a concept, pregnancy, right? of an idea, concept, or a vision, you got to really like you can say it's going to be a boy, it's going to be a girl, it's going to be twins, but a lot of times you just don't know until it's done, and then when it manifests itself, you can start to try to guide it. You can say my child's going to grow up and he's going to be an athlete or a musician like me, and that ain't what they want to do and that ain't where they want to go. So um, it's a pregnancy. You got to take care of yourself. Got to feed it right, eat right. Once it's born, then it's your baby. Now you have the actual physical business, and then you got to walk through the process of developing that thing into a full grown, talking, you know, opinionated, attitude having child, adolescence, whatever it is, what it is. Thank you guys for the gift. Thank you, Edwidge, for the Go Popular. Thank you for the love. Thank you, Nelly, for the gifts. Um, Dropping the love, show support. Can't stay long. Got 2 exams in the morning. Yeah, okay, respect, baby. Well, thank you for popping in anyway. Hi, Miss Shepherd. How are you? Um, Anybody want to pop in the room real quick before I go into some stuff? This is cool. Yeah. Anybody? Let me just do the invite thing I do, and those who want to come in will, and those who can't won't. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. I'll just give you a chance to come on in.
Hey,
Divine. Thank you for that question, little brother. That was good.
Mr. Brown.
Thank you, man. That question was good. Thank
Well, anytime.
you. Yeah, I like it. You keep the
Anytime.
party going. You keep the party going.
I try. And I just wanted to give an update. I found some websites that are selling industrial land, and it caught my attention for what their niches are pertaining to these industrial lands. It says facilities for even for filmmaking down to like gyms and all of these other things. And it all falls in line towards entertainment. Think about it. And I'm like, wow, this is another footstep towards the big dream, to the big vision that I'm gonna accomplish. So just to learn about the landscape and what I had to get, what type of land to get is basically industrial. So looking into that.
I like the fact
Still
that you're
doing my
doing
due diligence.
I'm glad that you're doing the look-ins and picking apart and going through the process, because that's when it really starts to form inside of you in the womb. It's like when you really start looking into what it is, how do you think you want to raise it, all that kind of stuff. You doing the footwork, and on the path of that, you find out whether it's industrial land or what kind of industrial land is it. Different kinds of industrial land. Where should it be? You know, what's the downfall or the plus of it? So you doing the good groundwork. This is necessary. Thank you, everybody, for the Go Popular.
Thank you. And this company that I was looking at, they do consultations and they get 5-star reviews. So I'm gonna keep them definitely handy because once again, they specialize in the areas that I'm looking in New Jersey, such as Bayonne and Kearney, New Jersey. I'm leaning towards Kearney though.
I mean, not how. Do they, so for the consultation, are they charging you? Or do they get a percentage of
That
the
part
land
I
that they
did
take
not
you
know
to?
that.
You'll find out. I'm sure
Yeah,
you
definitely.
you will know enough. You will know soon enough. Excellent. Good stuff. So nobody else came in, so I guess nobody else wanted to pop in at the time. So this has been great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into my notes quick, since Tane and Edwards both said they got to pop out, so I don't want them to miss out on the goodies. So I'm going to show the video from last week because we already saw it real quick, if you don't mind. And then I'm going to talk to you about it. Wait, it's showing that people in the room. Now I don't have to show that video again. You'll show the video again. You'll show the video. The video where the guy was playing soccer and he was about to pull off his shirt and his team ran over and grabbed him and pulled the shirt back down. And it was and so we talked about last week very seriously the kind of friends you keep, the kind of people you keep around you. Do these friends hold you accountable? And about changing your friend circle. So let's just do this. By the way, make sure you invite Amanda because Amanda.
Yes, we invited her. I'll send it again.
Okay, no, I just wanted to make sure you did. So I'm gonna go over a couple of the notes real quick, and I'm just gonna keep the room open. Anybody wants to jump in? But I'm gonna just shoot through a couple of the bullet points that really stuck out, and then we said, in a moment of excitement, we can do things in our excitement that makes our celebration short-lived, right? So we talked about in the moment of stuff, and I had a conversation with somebody today, and I was talking about, the thing you hear me say all the time. I try not to do anything in excitement, whether it's good excitement or bad excitement. I try to wait long enough to know what I'm doing. Now, we start talking about the greatest blessing in life is having friends who don't clap for your excesses, people who will call you out. And I'm just going to go through the friends part, out of all of these. Friends who don't endorse bad behavior, friends who will check your manners when pride starts creeping in, friends who will ask hard questions. And I love this. These are the friends that will ask you hard questions when your decisions stop making sense. These are friends that's going to question you when your decisions don't make sense anymore, and not just, especially when you become successful, you got to be mindful of that, because a lot of people don't want to be around. They want to hang on. They want to just be part of the entourage, but they're not contributing to you. And if you're not experiencing that yet, you will. Trust me. Even with small amounts of success, you're going to see the haters, but you're going to see those who then try to move in. I'm going to talk about something in a minute. Friends who don't endorse your bad behavior, friends who will check you when your manners, when your pride starts creeping in, friends will ask you the hard questions when your decisions start making sense, friends who will slow you down when excitement is about to ruin you, friends who care about your future more than your feelings in the moment, friends who are not impressed by your success but committed to your sustainability, friends that are not so excited about your success. You hear these stories all the time. The people that surrounded Whitney, the people that they were so busy trying to kiss up to her stardom and not, be put out the circle, that they didn't correct her. And you hear these stories over and over with successful people. Friends who love you enough to pull your shirt down before life gives you a red card. Not friends who hype your downfall, but friends who ensure that you stay up. Um, the people stopping you are not always against your joy. They are guarding your destiny, right? So have some points off of that from Thursday. I lose track of the day. Today's Tuesday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Thursday. So I want to throw a couple of things at you. Excitement is powerful. Excitement is a powerful motivator. Excitement is a necessary adrenaline boost, right? To get you going. But it's a short-lived one, meaning it has this explosion, it peaks, and then it begins to fall off the other end. But discipline is also a powerful motivator. But discipline has a longer shelf life, because discipline is a decision to stay in the moment even when the moment doesn't seem to exist. Discipline is that feeling that I'm committed to this, and whether it feels exciting or not, or whether everything looks good, or people are clapping, or I got the whole room dancing for me or not, I'm committed to this task. And boy, does business require discipline. Man, oh man, oh man. I've been really coming to terms with myself. I've been putting together, these books for the trademark. And I had to sit down last night and almost practically rewrite half the chapters of Mindset Before Million. Just rewrite them because they didn't flow right. From me talking about them in conversations to them, transcribing the recordings and then throwing it in the AI, to have AI polish it up, and AI turned it into some garbage that I would never say. It was just, ugh, it was just so much. It was almost scientific. It was boring. It had no human life. It was straight robotic. And I had to go in and say, no, I'm gonna have to rewrite all of this. And I mean, you talking about some long chapters. There was like a lot of stuff that I had to take one paragraph at a time, tweak it, poke it. Then I'll throw it in and say, okay, keep this in this voice. This is my voice. But grammatically, was this said correct? And go to chapter, verse, chapter by chapter, paragraph by paragraph. So discipline says, I have to get this done. And even though I'm not excited anymore, I'm determined to make this happen. So excitement is natural when you finally break through. But big moments carry big emotions. Discipline is what protects the moment from becoming a regret. Discipline protects the moment from becoming a regret. Discipline also protects the moment from becoming fleeting. It doesn't get away from you because you got distracted by something else. Discipline says, I'm focused on this, and that moment that I have to savor or I have to build on it. And a lot of times we don't understand that. We get excited in a moment. And I want you to hear me out on this. I know I've done it. You get excited in a moment, and then you just want to ride that moment. But it's called a moment for a reason. It's temporary. So with the right kind of discipline, you can take a moment, you can begin to structure something around that moment so it can become something longer lived or something that you can grow into something. So it's a bigger and a longer moment, or more moments are created out that moment. I'm really like talking from my heart right now because it's the stuff that I'm dealing with. So I'm just going to talk to you straight from the heart. I'm not trying to get all deep in everything. I'm just going to tell you exactly the kind of stuff that I'm looking at right now that I'm dealing with. So discipline protects moments from being short-lived or regrets. And the insight and the wisdom of how to build on that moment with discipline makes it last, or makes it not just last, but makes it have a whole new life. Success introduces new tests is the next part or next paragraph. So every success I've experienced has introduced me to different sides of people who either I thought I knew or I thought I loved. Let me say this. It's hard, and nothing is really going wrong for me, just don't get me wrong, but it's hard to be positive about new relationships and new people based on the many years I've been here and the experiences that I have. But a correct mindset focuses you to still work with them and work with people and look for and expect the best anyway. And that's not always easy when you have some experiences that says you can't trust people. But when you become successful, and I'm trying to say this humbly, right? Because I'm not trying to say I've arrived, but I can say that I have success from where I came from and where I started, and I'm living a life that a lot of people would dream of. So is success introduce you to new trials, but I don't want to just say from the people from the outside, but from your own self, from becoming aware of who you are and what it is you do and why it is you do it. Success introduces you a lot of time to your weaknesses. It's amazing to me how many successful people I made and these I met made successful people I met and their self-esteem is here. And everybody's looking and shouting at them and giving them praise. And their inner image is literally like they almost don't accept or believe. I went through that. I remember when I first began to succeed in things, like I just always shrunk under any compliment or anything that was aimed in my direction because I always understood that compliments and insults come from the same tree. The same person that compliments you today will curse your name tomorrow when it doesn't go their way. So the win comes with discipline. That win is tested. The promotion comes and pride looks for a seat at the table. When you begin to, so I said it's going to introduce you to tests within yourself. When you begin to succeed, pride kicks in. I'm gonna tell you a little story about that. I'm gonna come back to my notes. I'm gonna come back.
Edward made a comment.
What she said?
And Ms. Brown. Edward said, "I love this, Mr. Brown. This is real talk." And then Angie was making a comment based on all the points you said about friends. She said the friends' points are 1000% true.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ms. Dr. Brown.
I was going to tell a story about myself. I think I forgot it. No,
Please bring it back.
I remember it. I remember when I first started to quote unquote become successful, right? And I don't say quote unquote because I don't think I was, but you know, I'm just trying to tell you where my mindset was then. I began to have things that I didn't have before. I began to have money that I didn't have before. And the things I bought, the things I wore, the cars I drove, I really thought that it would gain me approval. Look at me now. Hey, look at me now. Right? I really thought that would make the people who didn't treat me kind or didn't show me love say, okay, I was wrong. We love you now. It did. It didn't change anything. Matter of fact, it breeded more contempt because now they're looking for and wishing for and waiting for my downfall. I'm not saying that to expose or talk about them. I'm saying that to expose and talk about me because I was so broken, needing people to validate me, and the pride that I was showing and displaying was really insecurity. And a lot of times that's what pride is. I don't know too many times that I haven't seen it to not be that. It was insecurity showing itself. But figuring this now new image of me or new financial status of me would make people respond and treat me different. And it was worse. And so then I start to feel stuck inside myself, if that makes sense. And let me explain that to you, right? Real talk. What do you do when you do all the things that you thought people wanted you to do or thought you could or couldn't be, and you do it, and the response is still not favorable? What happens inside of you? Well, let me tell you. You go inside yourself, you close up inside yourself, and now you're alone with yourself, figuring out what else can you do. And then the next phase is then you try to become this ugly thing that says, I don't give a F. And either way, you're still trapped in this war of something that you thought achievement would fix. Doesn't. So I look at that now. I look at it differently. And as I was talking, I was remembering the pain. I was remembering what that room felt like. And some of you right now on here, I know you probably deal with that. That need to achieve so you can show somebody and you want them to approve. And I'm telling you, if that's the reason, I'm gonna show them, or you want them to approve of you, I'm gonna give you a fair warning. You in for a big letdown, because the people that don't want to see you are not going to see you. That's it. Period. They're gonna keep saying, "I remember when you didn't." But that's not my point. So my point is, we go skating. There's a group of people that we hang around with, people that we have developed some kind of relationship with. But I'm aware that that's the skating community. These are not my friends. They don't come to my house. I don't go to their house. You think, well, Nelly and I have been, it's a weird situation, right? Because you think like the wedding video went up, maybe a handful of people said congratulations. Some of them tried to act like they never even saw it or knew. So I got a new pair of skates, right? Nelly, can you grab my skates? I want to show my skates.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. How many of you remember Giuseppe's? They were like in 2010 to 2015. They were like the Yeezys of that time, right? A pair of sneakers that cost $4,000 or $5,000. Ridiculous. Just I could never. Do anybody remember or know Giuseppe's? Do you remember those? The celebrities wore them. They're not even comfortable sneakers. I don't even know why you want to spend that kind of money. But they were does anybody, let me know in the chat, does anybody remember Giuseppe's? So anyway, somebody had a pair, Corey had a pair, and they didn't feel good on his feet, and they're too heavy in the wheelchair and stuff. So he left them in the closet to throw them away. You're not answering me. Do you know what Giuseppe's are? Do you remember those? Trying to get some responses here.
No, Esther just came in too.
Yeah, I know. He
Okay.
said vaguely.
Vaguely.
No, it says no. Rappers rapped about him. I thought it was a restaurant. Silly. There is a restaurant.
It sounds like one though.
There is a restaurant called Giuseppe's, but I don't think people wore those outside. So anyway, matter of fact, the only rap that keeps coming to my mind that had it is when Mary J rapped on that song she did, Enough Crying. Something on my wheels, Giuseppe's on my heels. And again, it was one of those type of ridiculous, who wants to buy those? So he had them in the closet and he was going in the garbage. I looked at him and said, these will make a nice skate, right? So I took them. This is what they look like. The zippers on the sides.
Nice.
And the little straps. And I had wheels put on them. I took it to my dude who designed skates, and he took these old sneakers.
Those are fire.
And he put wheels on them. And we said, oh, those, yeah, you remember, right? They was the thing back in the day. I don't know what it is about red, like the red bottom shoes and that. Anyway, these were the skates. How much did they charge? They were charging like between $3,000 and $4,000. I've seen some of them for $4,500. Ridiculous. I would have never bought them, but he did, and now he was going to like toss them. So I took them and I turned them into skates.
Deron said, how much he charged you?
Oh, he charged me. He charged me $100 to put the wheels on because I had the plates, I had the wheels. So all he had to do was put a metal plate in there, drill holes through, and screw it on there. So he charged me $100. I gave him, of course, I gave him $120. But still, pair of sneakers that were going in the garbage. I had plates for an old pair of skates. I just had the plates put on there and the wheels, and boom. A pair of sneakers that was going in the garbage, and $100 to do a plate. Why am I bringing this up? I show up with my skates, and half of the room, half of the place don't speak. Literally. They literally looking the other way, like when they see me. Like you see people, and the few who say, "Oh, you got new skates," and I'm like, "No, it's the pair of skates that I have are like genuine skates that I spent some money on." And I'm like, "What?" And I asked Nelly, like when Nelly was talking about how people act, and like there's females there that will speak to her if I'm standing with her, kind of, but if she says hi to them on her own, they act like they don't see her and look the other way. Why am I bringing this up? Because we can't ignore the fact that it feels some kind of way, rejection. But if we put, listen close to what I'm about to say, if we put a real label on why we're being rejected, it becomes a celebration more than a disappointment. And that's the thing I took from it. I said, let me say something to you. Happy and fortunate to be envied of those whose God is the Lord. Being disliked or disapproved of by people because they are upset about what they feel you have, or the fact that, hey, come with new skate. I don't know what they was thinking. Truthfully speaking, I don't give a beep. Right? My point is, success brings, and we talking about something small, a pair of skates. So imagine you think, well, now I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna have a successful business. I'm gonna wind up on this show or Shark Tank, whatever. And you think people gonna dance and sing? You're gonna get some of that, but more than likely, you're gonna get a lot of the other stuff. So why did I go into this long story? Because how good are you in you? That when you begin to step into the realm you want to step into and supposed to step into, and those closest to you and those around you that's part of your community, everybody starts to shun you and starts to treat you a certain way. I've come to this realization, and tell me if you're like this or not, and definitely say something in the comment. When you start to become that, it's not really you they're shunning, it's the failure or the lack of drive in them that they're getting upset with. They don't like the fact that what you're achieving is making them have to look at themselves in a kind of way that they don't want to look at themselves. So what you're feeling usually is an internal battle with them about your accomplishment. It's not as much about you as you think it is. Listen, if you're listening to what I'm saying right now, this will help you a lot. When people begin to shun you, a lot of times they're saying to you, you're above me, you don't belong here. Who likes that? Tell me what you think. And some of you are in the chat. Pop on in and tell me how you're feeling about that. A lot of times when people shun you, I think most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, if not 100, when people start to shun you because you're achieving or because you got a dream, it's them. That's to say, wow, that was deep. It's not you.
Kwame came in.
What's up, Q? Welcome to the room. We're talking about protecting the win, not WIND, WIN. When you get your win, how to not lose it, how to not or get lost in it. Yeah, so a lot of times people will shun you because you are shining a light on them on their internal man that they don't want to see. And you're hoping that they will love you and embrace you when they can't, because who you just became made them more aware of themselves.
Hmm.
It's jealousy. And Sheen, you spot on, but jealousy is it's a too common of a term. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that, bro. Sometimes people feel that way about you and they don't even know why. Let me give you an example. You ever had a family member that got upset because you got something or you achieved something they didn't? And you can tell in a way they genuinely happy for you. Like they was rooting for you all the time to get it. But then you got it. And all of a sudden they feel in some kind of way. And it's not necessarily saying, well, I'm jealous of you, I don't want you to have it. It's they go and brag to all their friends about you that you achieved it. But being around you in that moment separates you from them and it makes them feel alienated, even though they might not sometimes understand it. I've asked people, "Are you jealous of me?" And they go, "No, I'm happy for you." Yeah, but you act stink though, and it took me a minute to understand. Is deeper than jealousy. Is they sometimes don't even have control over that emotion. It's just something that rose up in them to say, so now I'm aware that I'm not that. So it's an inward battle. It ain't even about you sometimes. Sometimes it's just about what is making them feel. How you experiencing that now? Yeah. And what I'm trying to do is help you through that. It's not necessarily bitterness, but they're saying to you, you're ahead of me now. I'm not in your league anymore. We don't fit together. And only thing you can do to fit with them is renounce your glory and come back down to where they are. Listen close. You got to now renounce your success and come back down to where they were. I remember when they were interviewing Whitney when her and Bobby broke up. And Whitney said, we were okay, even though she always had more success than him. But she said, when I did The Bodyguard, when I did that movie, she went from now a singer to an icon. Literally, that movie changed it all. And she said, when that happened, the whole shift between her and Bobby went like this. Because now he was no longer, we're not just both two singers. And yeah, I'm a singer that sell more records than you, but we're both singers. Now you're here. And his bitterness and his animosity toward her turned because he was saying internally, I no longer fit with you. I don't belong with you anymore. And so a lot of times what you're going to see, I didn't plan to stay on that point so long, but if it helps you, you know, you want to jump in the conversation, jump in the room, say some things, feel free to do so. You're welcome. But this is where it gets real because success introduces things. I stepped out to be, Kwame, come on in, baby. I stepped out to do some things in my life that I've succeeded in. And everybody I grew up with, including family, they changed. And I say they turned on me at first, but it was like, no, they identified you as no longer being one of them. And you got to be good enough to say, then that's what it is. Don't have no animosity towards you. I don't hate you. And I know you don't hate me, but I know we don't walk the same path anymore. And I'm not going to try to get off my path to not. Okay, I put it like this. Don't get to the place where you're apologizing for being blessed. Because that's what happens. You start apologizing. What's going on?
Peace, Craig. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, but no, you sound distorted. It's like you breaking rocks in a prison cell or something while you're talking. Well, be clear.
Oh, alright.
What the heck are you doing?
Gotta take this off. I'm in the gym.
Oh, well, it's gonna be kind of hard for you to talk in the gym
Headphones
with all
off.
that noise.
How that sound? A little different or same?
That's better, much better.
Better?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. What's on your mind?
Yeah. I've had situations like that before. You know, in the gym, training, from being a fighter, transitioning to being a trainer, training clients, training fighters. You know, I've had numerous different situations. One of them was in a class orientated. I was teaching class. So the trainer that wanted me to teach it kind of like how he teaches it, right? His fundamentals, his way of moving and stuff. I tried it. Now I noticed most of the clients and people would not really come or want to be there because they looking at like I'm a carbon copy of him. I'm trying to be like him. I'm not him. I'm me. So when I realized, you know what, let me put my own style, my own spin on it. I started doing that. It started getting crowded. A lot of people started coming to the point where he literally would come and try to take people out of my classes to put in his classes so he could have higher numbers. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So just like you said, it's like once you start to elevate yourself and not always so-called be they little lapdog or like, oh, they go my, like, you know what I'm saying? My protege, I'm training them up and whatnot. But once you start to match them past their level or doing stuff, sometimes they might try to dull your shine or put you down or whatnot. Not necessarily like you say makes you probably hating, but try to say, well, okay, I'm not really ready for you to step on this level yet over me. You know?
And my point is right. Is he can shine at his own level, but what he needs
Right.
is to feel like what you're doing now is exposing an insecurity in me and making me feel uncomfortable.
There we go.
And that's really what it comes down to. And
There
that's
we
what I was
go.
trying to explain. It's not necessarily toward you. A lot of times it's an inward battle
Right.
with themselves, but you're feeling the sting
Facts.
of it because it's happening because of your presence. But it's really not about you. Does that make sense, babe?
Right.
A lot of times it's not about you. It's just about what they're dealing with in themselves. And so what I'm saying,
Yeah.
it would help you. It would help you greatly if you could say, you know what? Let me not take this personal. This is something that's going on inside of them. And, you know, either they'll get over it. Let me tell you what I told Nelly about the skates. I said, I wear them enough and then they'll become old and then they won't be bothered by them anymore. You follow what I'm saying? Or they will, whatever. But my
Yeah.
point is, I'm going to keep wearing I'm going to keep doing my thing. I was saying, well, maybe I shouldn't wear them. I'm like, screw that. I'll wear them. They're mine. And let them be mad. And after they see me with them 5, 6, 7 times, they'll probably get over it and go back to being, it's normal. Right? And your greatness is the same. I'm going to mute you for the noise. Or mute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll make a comment on that.
You make your comment.
Yes, because it also reminds me, you know that poem that says your
Thanks,
sta-
Esther. Go ahead.
oh, you're standing strong and going forward. It indirectly gives someone else um the right to stand as well. Those are looking at it positive.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say that you shouldn't play yourself small ever, because you're standing, it will indirectly give someone else the courage to stand, or it will expose someone else's shortcomings, and either they're gonna stand or they're gonna cower back. And like you said, that's not your problem, it's up to them. But you should stand and go forward. You should walk in your excellence, wear your skates, and be who God has called you to be, and not shrink because of other people.
Good stuff. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you give them the right, what she's saying is you give them the right to be powerful when you make a decision to stand. Because somebody else may be standing in the shadow, wanting to take that stand and afraid of the reaction.
Yes.
And see you get the negative reaction and you shine through it. And they go, well, hey, that wasn't that bad. Let me give it a shot. I like that, mama.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. And the good thing about exposing, see, here's the main thing I'm hoping I get to you out of this. and if you're as you're listening to me, here's what I hope you'll get out of this. What I hope you'll get out of it, and I'm saying this, especially to my daughter because she's transitioning to her next level of greatness and seeing people act a certain way toward her. Some family, some not, but still acting. And it's like once they see you and they start to tell you with their actions that we can't walk together anymore, not because something wrong with you, but because you just elevated, you have to leave them alone and give them a chance to find out if they want to walk there. And if they don't want to walk there, then they're not somebody you should be walking with anyway. And that's where it gets real simple, sometimes emotionally complicated. Well, you just dismissed me. You just let me know. You just released me to move ahead. How you feeling back there when I move ahead? I can't worry about that, but I do have to move ahead. That's big. I stayed on that one point for a long time. My goodness, that was a long time.
Yeah, but it's good. It was good.
It was good?
Yeah.
Y'all think it was good? Okay, I got that thing. It said your live will end in 5 minutes. Like, wait, what happened? We want you to put that puzzle piece on there. There you go. All right. My live will not end in 5 minutes. Anybody else want to jump in?
So Lima just said, I'm asking God, he'll tell me if they should still have access to me. That's wow.
Here's how and you can ask God, I'm going to give you a quick tip on whether they should have access to you or not. When you step into your realm and you stay there, if they come into it, that's how they have access. They come into your realm. If they don't come into your realm and everything that you need to do to have a relationship with them requires you to come back down out of your realm,
Wow.
then they're finished. You're finished with them.
That's powerful.
You like that, Mama?
That's real good, yeah.
Yeah, they should step into your realm. And if they can't, then you got your answer. If I got to leave my realm of holiness, my realm of purity, my realm of whatever, so we can still have a relationship, we good. We good. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the season. Enjoy. Oh man, we hung together. We was thick as thieves. Ruth is here. Ruth said this one time on one of the vision builders. She said, man, I had a friend. We was real close. And then after I got married, no reason, no explanation, no argument, no nothing. She just cut me off. And it's like, yeah, because you moved out the realm. And once you moved out the realm, she was like, well, then I can't go there with you. I liked it better when we both talked. I'm just making this up. I liked it better when we both talked about not having somebody together. And got somebody and got a family and everything. She let you go. And that is part of life, though. It's not a bad thing necessarily. I just don't want us to do this thing to ourselves emotionally. I realize people expect you. Well, yeah, Sheen, you're right. They don't want you to elevate and they want you to stay on the same path. But do they want you to? Always. And this is the balance of it, right? Because sometimes the same people who rooted for you to get there get upset when you get there. So how does that make sense? They elevated you and wanted you to get to the path, but then they thought that you would automatically just pull them on the path, which is not possible. Once again, I'll take it back to my initial point. It's not about so much you, it's about you growing, exposing them. It's about you growing, making them feel something about themselves that they don't want to feel. They could look at anybody else up there. Here's how you know, Dag, I'm just going in tonight. Here's how you know that these people around you ain't good for you even before you blow up or start to blow up. You want to hear this?
Yes.
You want to hear this? You ready? Let me know. Let me know you want to hear it. This is how you know. She said yes. Check this out. How do they talk about successful people? I just said so. Right there. I just dropped jewels right there. I just gave you like the flashlight or flashlights. I just gave you the glow. How do they talk about successful people? Because that's how they're gonna talk about you when you become successful. How they talk about wealthy and rich people? Do they look at every celebrity and got some crap to say about them all the time? Do they look at anybody that's successful and go, yeah, they probably did that. They probably sucked some this or they probably did some that. Or they just got lucky. Right? Is that how they talk about them? That's how they're gonna talk about you when you get there. Listen to the people you call friends and listen to how they talk about successful people. When you become successful, that's how they're gonna talk about you. Can I move off that point now? That point was butter right there.
It was.
Did you get something there? Again, you're welcome to jump up in the chat and talk to me. I see a couple of you in the room, but you're welcome to talk. But yeah, pay attention how they talk about people. I don't care, friends, family, whatever. Every time they see somebody successful, they talking crap. You're now one of them. Welcome, Sheen.
Appreciate you letting me, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bring me on. But yeah, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. You know, everything you were just saying. You know, about how, like, I use my family for example. Some of my family, like, they sit there and talk about how certain celebrities, how they got to the start fading. You know, and I'm listening like, man, like, if you're talking about like this, you talking to them about, you talking to them like this. I can only imagine what you're saying about me behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
You know, because like for me, like I'm so focused on my clothing business that it's like I actually had to cut off family, cut off friends. You know, just so I could chase my dreams. And it's like, man, yo, he's actually doing it. Like, man, he's actually, you know, he's focused. And it's like behind closed doors, I'm already hearing from other folks like, oh, they saying X, Y, and Z about you because they ain't think you was gonna take that serious and get that far. So yeah, I'm starting to hear some of it now, especially the whole jealousy stuff.
How does it make you feel?
To be honest with you, I ain't gonna lie, it hurt at first, but I'm using it as ammunition where it's like, you know what? It's making me better in a way where it's like, you know what? I got a point to prove for myself.
I was hoping you
know,
said that.
like, you know what? I'm not gonna allow this negative energy to stop me. It's actually motivating for me.
Okay. I'm play psychiatrist for a minute, all right? So just work with me, okay? I've been a counselor for many years. You said something powerful. You said, it just made me realize I got a point to prove. To who?
To myself.
You sure?
Well, to them also.
Let's have a real conversation. I'm helping you out right now. This is free counseling. You have to pay hundreds of dollars to go to a counselor. Listen to what I'm about to say to you. You got a point to prove to them. What's the point?
That I can do it, you know.
And
like,
when you prove that point to them, will it change them and make them be less jealous or more?
I feel like it make them even more jealous.
So then why do you want to prove a damn thing to them? Why do you want to even expend that energy? I'm going to tell you this, my brother, and hold on to this with your heart. Take it from a 67-year-old man. What happens is you do all that to prove something to them and they still spit at you. And then you feel even worse. The motivation can't be to prove anything to anybody. The motivation has to be it's your destiny and nothing else.
Bars.
And nothing else. If they in it, they in it. If they not, they not. but don't do it to prove it to them. Don't do it to get even. Don't do it to none of that, because that blew up in my face. I thought that once I did it and proved it to them, it'll make them say, you know what, you're right, I was wrong. It did not. They got together and they talked worse about me. So you don't have to do it to prove squat. Don't do it for that. Sit down, pray. You believe in God, pray. Say, God, let my motivation be to fulfill the destiny that you put me on this earth to fulfill. I'm not here to prove nothing to them. Nothing you gonna do. As soon as you make it that way, you know what they're gonna say, Eugene? They're gonna say, yeah, well, I remember when you ain't had nothing. I remember when you used to have to sleep in my living room. They are not gonna acknowledge you in that place. They're gonna still keep trying to put you back down to the place that they want you and need you to be. So don't do nothing to prove it to people, because it doesn't change anything. You're still gonna be hurt. So accept that it hurts. Accept that, but what I'm trying to help you get is make sure you understand that this is not all about you. What's happening and the way they're treating you is not about you. It's about how they feel about themselves. That's the point I keep pushing over and over and over again. They feel bad about themselves. You just catching the brunt of it because you're succeeding. This ain't you.
Yes, sir.
This ain't you. Promise you this. It ain't you. It's them. And unless you can make them do what you're doing, they're gonna always feel this way. And you can't. You can't make somebody else. You can listen, you can share a dream with somebody, but you can't make somebody have a vision. That has to be theirs. They got to get that from the throne. And if they ain't got that, that's why entourage is the worst thing you can do. Having a bunch of people you bring along with you because you're successful, so you feel that you owe all. I did all that. I'm gonna help you buy your house. I'm gonna help you buy your car. I'm gonna do this. Didn't make them love me. Did not. They took my stuff and still despised me. Can't do it for them. Can't do it to prove a point to them. Do it because it's your destiny to prove to God that you're here to do what He called you to do.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for that.
You're more than welcome.
That was really great.
Come on, get in the comments and say bars. That was bars.
Be Radical just came in.
Oh, welcome, Be Radical. Good to see you here. Welcome to the family. Yeah. So but I appreciate you for jumping in there. Anybody else want to jump in here right now and comment on what I've said, ask a question, make a comment? You know, I'm laying down some stuff here. If not, I'll move on. But I'm gonna give you a second. Welcome, Triv. Thank you. And Dynamic, if you want to jump in here and welcome people and stuff, you feel free to do that. I know some people up in it is your fam, so I want to make sure we show them love and treat them right. So let's go to the next point here. And this is still, I'm in the section of success, introduce new test, right? Growth doesn't remove responsibility, it increases it. And so we're going to talk about growth, financial, whatever. Like I said, I remember coming from nothing, right? What people would say nothing, but it's just, I would just say humble beginnings, right? You know, welfare, everything that went with that life. Homelessness, being evicted, all of it. When I realized that once I got to a certain point, I thought it makes life, I want to say this right because I don't want to send the wrong message. I thought it made life easier. In some ways it did, but then it made it more complicated in other ways. So I'll give you an example. When I made no money, or when I was on social service, I didn't have to worry about income tax. Then I got a job, and now I had to pay tax. But I didn't have to really worry about tax because they took it out the check every week before they gave me my check. Then I said, well, I want to start my own business. Now they don't take it out. Now you're responsible to take it out. Now you gotta pay tax. Okay, so now I gotta figure out how business tax work. Then I got another business and another thing and another tax. And then I got properties and property tax and school tax. And so all these things that I didn't think about or have to think about before become my responsibility now. I gotta pay those. Those things. You know what blew my mind? The first time I got my own house and I had to pay a water bill. I'm like, you pay for water? I thought water was free. You know, I know the problems of my life. I thought water, wait a minute, you gotta pay for water? Wow. So every time you step ahead, it does make some things easier, but in reality, it increases responsibility. Scripture says, much is required to whom much is given. So when people are saying to me, I want to have a lot, I want to have this, I want to make that, I want to do this, I want $10 million. And what would you do with $10 million? Well, I buy this, I buy that, okay, and then after you buy all of that, and then what? Exactly. You're just gonna be poor again. And I'm speaking from experience. I know people who literally either hit the lotto or had a lot of success and didn't manage it. You see it all over the TV all the time, and they wind up right back poor again because the mindset of who they are and what they had to become to keep what they got. That's gonna be in my book I got coming out, Mindset Before Millions. It'll be out within about a month. I got a whole book series coming out right now. Mindset Before Millions is one, and it's gonna have a workbook, and the Millionaire Playbook and the Millionaire Workbook. Both of those books are really dealing with it from the perspective of not I'm the guru, so I can tell you everything. I can tell you how I got to where I got, and I can tell you that there's responsibility that goes with it. So each company has bank accounts, and each company has its own set of bills, and each company has its own issues to deal with. So you know, the interesting thing is this. Me and Nelly just got married in December. We've been together now for a couple of years. And right away she came in, she was like, I gotta make this money, I gotta do this, I gotta have that, I gotta contribute to this. And I'm like, no, you're my wife now. All my stuff is your stuff. Well, she had to deal with a bank account for her personal self and a bank account for her business. Now, every bank account and everything that I have to deal with, she now has to, like, she's looking at it like, okay, wow, this is a great life, but yo, yes, it increases responsibility. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's worse. I don't know. I can't speak for you. How do you feel that?
No, it stretches you. It's stretching me. I have to climb higher and higher and get better and better. So yeah, it's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of changing, a lot of growing. It's not a comfortable, laid back kind of thing. You could just sit down and cruise. Yes, but you have to keep the thing you have to do is keep pushing yourself to learn and to grow. So if you're not willing to learn, to grow and change so you can excel, then you can't go to higher heights. It's just not going to happen.
Listen, you went from having no car to now being with somebody with 3 cars.
Right.
That's 3 oil changes and all that, and we got 2 of them luxury cars.
Yeah.
Which is more expensive to take care of, right? It doesn't make life simpler. It gives you more responsibilities. I'm not saying more money, more problems. I'm not saying more problems. I'm saying much is required to whom much is given. You have this stuff, you know. There's a saying I heard a long time ago. It's easier to obtain than it is to maintain. You can get something, but now you got to keep it. And one of the things I try to teach in my trainings are wealth in your pocket when it's not in your spirit or in your inner man, it don't last long. People have to become something better. They have to become something different first. I think you should really get wealth training before you pursue wealth, because wealth is fleeting if you don't know how to manage it. She's a very strong mistress, and she wants attention. She wants to be treated a certain way. And if you don't, she will leave you And it's just I use a female because it's exactly the same. You better handle your business and you better treat it right because it will go find somebody else who knows how to handle it. And that's the thing about it. When you become successful, when you grow, your responsibilities don't go away. They increase. So when you start asking for stuff, know what you're asking for. I'll use what Dave Chappelle said. It was crazy. He said his father said to him, fine, go for your dream. But when he get too big for you, get out. And he said when they start to go off the rails and they start to try to pull him into the Hollywood world, he jumped on a plane, he went to Africa, cleared his head, walked away from 50 mil, said all money ain't good money. He came back and he was able to have his dream on his terms. And so you have to really decide. Like I heard Dave Chappelle say it was powerful. He said he don't want Kevin Hart's success. And they asked him, what do you mean? Why not? He said, because he got all these deals with all these different people. So he can't say this, he can't say this, he can't say that because they start pulling his deals away. Nike would take their deal. This company would take their deal. This company would take their deal. He said, I want to be able to say what I want to say and then nobody can't take anything from me. So I'll stay right here on this level. Thank you very much because I don't want the responsibility of lining up or getting into bed with the devil. So as you looking for and reaching for success, and that's what people here come to me for, and this is what people come to me for counseling for, I always tell them, success in your pocket and not in your spirit or in yourself, it's fleeting. I can introduce you to people. I have people recently call me for money that I knew like made or inherited millions, and now they trying to figure out what they're going to do next. Because they immediately start spending and trying to live up to an image, again, still trying to prove something to someone and never being healed or complete in themselves. Any comments, any questions, any statements, drop it in there.
Powerful. This is good stuff, babe.
My wife said my husband dropping bars. Thank you. I'm doing what I do. Come on, get on here, ask me a question, make a statement, say something. New levels and treat success as levels because and I'm not just talking about financial levels. You know, you ever heard the term frequencies? You come to a place, a frequency in yourself, in your life before you go up. I don't know if you've experienced this before, but if you haven't, you probably have, but you probably didn't pay attention to it. But I'm going to give you some light, okay? I'm going to give you some light. You said you're an audio engineer, so you understand frequency. So let's use audio because I'm a record producer and have a record producer in my history. So let's think about that. When you reach for the knob and you turn it up on a stereo or your car, the sound goes up, but you don't hear it as soon as you think you do. It's processed. That signal goes up, the wave and the vibration happens. It's quick, and then your ear catches it. It's a different level. When he said, yes, sir, you're right. You think you hear it right away, but you don't. So here's what happens. When you step into a new level, before you see it manifest in your natural life or in your bank account and your whatever, stuff happens in the environment around you. You ever say, you know, I had this feeling and then everything was, and then I walked in and I got a raise or the deal went through, but you felt it. The atmosphere changed before you saw something. People try to go up without allowing themselves to have that atmospheric change, that sense of who they are before they get it. The sense of this is who I am before that manifests. If you listen to people that are successful, you'll hear them say, I always knew I was supposed to be here. No, I knew it. I knew it. I just always knew it. I always knew it. And then you hear people talk like that, like, oh no, I knew this since I was a child. I knew I was supposed to do this. Most people do have that frequency in them. And then life and family talk them down out of that frequency. But people that have greatness in them, that frequency is resonating from birth. God put that in them. And they feel it, they sense it. But then they start asking people who have no frequency, so what do you think? Do you think this is a good idea? Huh? Because you're looking for people to validate you that don't have validation. They're not self-validated, but you're looking for them to validate you. I'm real funny and I piss people off, but I say, if you broke or you got less money than me, you can't give me financial counsel. You can learn from anybody. Yeah, I'm not gonna learn from you. What I'm gonna learn from you is what not to do. That's the only lesson I want to take from you, not what not to do. Because you can only give me an opinion, but you have not function on the frequency to know what wealth you have. You made 7 figures yet? Well, I have. So unless you doing better than that, you can share with me where we are even, but you can't talk to me about that because you don't know it. So let me go back to my point. Something happens in you. Something happens in you when it's time for you to go to the next level. How many praying people do we have in here? How many people do we have that's prayers, right? Let me know how many praying people we got in here. All right? Me, Dynamic said me. Liv says me, yes. Prayers, prayer. You put the prayer in here, whatever. You got the prayers in here? Yeah, me, you're good. God bless. Come on, keep it coming. Yes. Okay, so let me ask you this, praying people. I'm about to give you game right now. I'm about to give you game. You ever been in prayer time, serious prayer time, and all of a sudden you just felt different? You felt lighter, you felt chills, you felt this trembling inside. You know, a lot of people in church, they want to jump and run around and scream and flip around on the floor and do, cartwheels and stuff. I always say to people that's just aerobics. That's mental gymnastics. You don't have to do all of that to enter the realm I'm talking about right here. You could be standing still in one spot and you feel that. There's times I wake up from my sleep and I feel the presence of God on me and it's all over me and I can feel it. And it's a vibration that's not the level I'm in. You don't want to come out. You don't want to come out at that moment. When you having that moment, you don't want it to stop because you know the moment you stop, you come and drop that back down to this other level and I was in the spirit. Yeah, and no, you already in the spirit if you got God in you, right? But you were vibrating now on a different level. You wasn't worrying, you wasn't thinking about a bunch of stuff. Your mind was clear, maybe you slept, you woke up, or you prayed long enough that all that noise got quiet and you entered a different realm. That realm happens a lot of times when it's time for you to go to the next level. You feel it, you know it, you wake up, you're walking around the house and you tingling, something got you excited, you don't know what you're even excited about. That realm is opening up. At that point is the time for you to watch this, gain knowledge, gain wisdom. Not, it felt so good. I was in the presence. It felt so. No. That's the time for you to say, okay, how do I stay here? What is it? A realm is open up for me. What do I need to learn right now? Do I need to take some classes? Do I need to study some real estate, whatever? Do I need to do what's opening up for me in this realm? It's not a feeling supposed to come and go away. I mean, listen, I know I'm going deep on you, but I'm telling you the truth. You stepped into a realm that you're now supposed to master. You're supposed to stay there. You're supposed to do whatever that realm God has moved you into to do. You're supposed to now say, what do I need to be knowing right now? And you need to block out everybody and anybody else that's trying to talk to you and all other noise that don't speak to that realm. That's how you stay there. That's how after prayer time is over, you still feel that. Don't go talk to the regular knuckleheads. Go now and say, okay, Lead me to whoever's supposed to be speaking to me right now because I need to move up into this realm. And usually, when you see that happen, shortly after that, you see a door open or financial opportunity open or a situation open up. Usually, right around there. The problem is, you get that door open, you don't do the necessary homework you need to do to stay in there, and so you can't keep it. And that's why people get successful and lose it because they do not adjust to the present level. That was deep. I just gave you something.
Mhm.
She said, "I know you deep, but your explanation. What are you saying, daughter? I'm not sure what you saying."
I put the cartwheel emoji because you was like, y'all, some people ready, stand up, down, do cartwheels.
I'm doing cartwheels, right?
Like,
No, you see that church, they running around, flipping and jumping up and down and crawling under the pews, all kind of stupid stuff. And it's like, okay, but then when you go back home, them same bills, them same demons waiting to smack you right in your mouth soon as you walk in the door. I'm gonna give you something to laugh about. This is the image that God gave me a long time ago when I used to be in church and was acting churchy, right? He said, "You in here yelling and screaming and shouting in the midst of all your problems and yelling at the devil, and I rebuke you and all this mess." And he said, the devil was standing outside the church like, "Oh, you bad in front of your friends, huh? Okay. Wait till you come outside. Wait till I get your A home. Wait till I get you home. You see what's gonna happen. We're gonna find out how bad you are when I get you home." And I was like, wow, that's messed up. You know, dancing around, shouting and yelling and shouting them down. And God's like, yeah, but you're not elevating. I'm gonna tell you something. I know, and from experience to believe, and I believe I've entered that realm and getting deeper into it, where you can get so high up in that elevation that the enemy can't even touch you. Like he down there doing the stuff he do, trying to distract you to get you to come back down so he can mess with you. But if you stay up there, he ain't touching you. The wicked one come, but he find nothing in me, is what Jesus said. So he come, but you ain't there. He knock on the door, you ain't home. This is what happens when success is moving to the next level. You start to feel it, and if you don't, yeah, I love that. Let's elevate. And when you feel that and you sense that move, and I want you to pay attention as I'm talking, and I want you to think about it from now on. When you in that place and you feeling this, that sense of something is happening, lock into that. Stop and be quiet. Shut your mind up. Don't go, and please don't go, "Oh, I was feeling this presence." No, that's quiet time. You need to sit down and say, what you saying to me right now? Speak now. I need to know what need to be changed in me. And you might hear him say, "Get that person out your life. Stop doing that. Move away from that. Move on over here." Why? I was literally like a couple of days ago, was sitting down on my phone playing some games, and God said, "Delete those. I need you to delete these games off." I said, "All of them?" He's like, "Oh, why? Is something more important than me?" No. I'll delete the whole phone. I'll throw the phone out the window. Like, tell me what that, because right away I caught myself like, "Dude, you try to hold on?" He said, "No, I'm going to tell you again. Delete that. There's two distractions. Spend too much time on it. Just delete it. Get it off your phone. It's a time sucker. I need you to be here right now. I'm writing 5 books. I need you to be here." Well, they're done now. But I need you to be here right now because I just filed for a trademark. And that's a whole different story. That's a whole different level of real estate. So it's like, no, you got a trademark here. So like my trademark, for those you don't know, is I end all my videos and all my sessions with, "You ready? Let's grow." And now people start saying that to me, and when they would see me in public, and it was like, "Well, you better lock that down." So I trademarked that. That's my trademark. Nobody can get online. Nobody can make videos. Nobody can make commercials. They can't get anywhere and say, "You ready? Let's grow," and without me coming with my hand out or cease and desist. That's property. So I wrote a whole book series for You Ready, Let's Grow. That was what they told me I had to have. I wasn't doing that because I'm smart or I like to write books. No, I don't write no book. I wrote a book by just turning on a tape recorder and talking into the tape. Let me tell you right now, this what I'm doing right here with y'all. This is a book. All of this stuff is gonna be transcribed. It's going in a book. Trust me.
Yeah.
Protect the Wind is all going into a book. Is it protect? I'm saying the name wrong, aren't I?
Yes, it's what's it, guide?
Guard the Wind.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not wind, W-I-N-D, W-I-N, guard the wind. I may change it to protect the wind. I like that better.
Yeah,
But my point is, I'm trying to teach you guys that you win. That we went way over.
Got 102 likes.
Thank you.
Hearts.
Are you liking what you're hearing? Just get in the comments. Say something. Let me know. Let me know you're with me. Especially you, Be Radical. You've been with us on the cooking show. Now you get to see how her husband flow. Get under the comments. Let me know. Let me know what you're getting. Guard the wind. We gotta protect that thing at all costs. And the wind is not after it manifests. The wind, like I said, is just at that moment in time when you know that door open. You know something's about to happen. If you've ever felt that, let me know. Get in the comments and let me know. I felt that. Like I had that feeling. I know that feeling. Like, yeah, I got that feeling like something's about to happen. And sometimes you got it, and sometimes you went and you talked to other people and let them talk you out of it. Come on, get in the comments. Say something to me. I'm gonna stop talking to you if you're not gonna communicate with me. I'm not gonna keep giving you all this good stuff and you're not even gonna hang out with it, brother. Yeah, and we're gonna be wrapping it up in a few minutes. We got a lot. We got a lot done. Come on, get up in here in these comments. So, my last point for tonight. New levels don't remove rules. They define them. So, here's what happens. When you move into the new levels, they require a new behavior. They require a new behavior in terms of mindset. The way you think about things and when you look at things have to go bye-bye. I'll give you an example, and this is where I'm going to wrap it up. I was on the phone today with a spiritual leader, pretty prominent in the area, and they were talking to me. He made it as that should go in my book, in one of my books. You're right, new levels don't remove rules, they define them. Yes, yes, sir. We're going to put it in the book. I got you, bro.
That's good.
Thank you, Devon. And she was, I guess, trying to be what I call church encouraging. Well, you know, the enemy, you know, when the trials come at you, and you know, the enemy gonna try you, and you know, and you just gotta stand, you just gotta believe. And she was, you know, doing, you know, I'm not mocking her, she was doing what the church people do. And I said, why is the move of God always qualified by the enemy? God gonna bless you, but blah, 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 the devil, blah, 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 blah. And I shared with her a story I learned a long time ago. Some of you that's here know me, heard it before, and those of you who are here that never heard it before, you're gonna take this with you. There was a woman who was an expert on identifying counterfeits. She worked for the government. I'm not making this story up, it's a real story. She was an expert. Nobody was better than her. You would bring a counterfeit to her, you could barely get it on the table in front of her. Counterfeit, she knew it. Flip it over, counterfeit. So they tried to trick her. They tried to use the right paper but the wrong ink. Brought it to her, counterfeit. Right ink, wrong paper. Counterfeit. And so they sat down, they interviewed her, and they asked her, how many counterfeit bills have you studied for you to be able to identify a counterfeit that quick and that well. We've been able to fool many people. We've never been able to fool you. How much time you spend studying counterfeits? And she said, 0. 0? What do you mean 0? She said, I never look at a counterfeit. I never sat a counterfeit in front of me in my life. I study the real thing. I take the real bill, and I've studied the real bill so much that when the counterfeit is in front of me, I immediately identify it.
That's powerful.
Yeah. And what I took from that is the church spent too much time talking about the enemy. Too much. They know him well. You don't spend enough time studying the real thing. So when the real opportunities come to you and new levels come to you, they redefine how you think about things. You want to keep looking at the studying the counterfeits, or you want to study the real thing? When it's time to grow, you can't study the failures. You can't say, well, I use the failures to motivate me forward. No, you don't. You use success to motivate you forward. You use the successful to motivate you forward. You don't spend time around a bunch of people that are not doing what you're trying to do and not trying to encourage what you're supposed to do. And if they can't, don't hold it against them. They can't give you what they don't have. But it's your fault for going to them, expecting them to give you something that they don't have. They can't. So I don't have animosity anymore toward the quote unquote haters. I don't even call people my haters anymore. That's beneath me. I say these are people that they're just not on the level that I'm on, and they're not striving to be. And that's all good that they've already identified that we can walk together. You know, I can call you every now and then and see how you're doing. And once you start going, well, you know, how life is. All right, well, listen. I got to run. I'll shoot you a text. You know what I'm saying? It's because I don't want to hear all of that. Because especially in areas that I'm not fully developed in, I can't afford to give you the opportunity to put poison in my drink. It's very important. So, at this point, guard the wind. It's a process. It's a walkthrough. It's literally a checklist. It's a checklist that you have to go through every step of the way. And you know, I can give you a whole different analogy, but I give it to you short. If you ever seen a movie with pilots on a plane, they got to walk through that list all the time. They're not allowed to go from memory. They got a person that sits there and he reads them. Flaps, yep. This 90 degrees, yep. Pressure, this, yep. This, and they read that, and that's called the pre-flight. And then they have a taxi list that they go down. And this taxi is when it's going down the runway. And then they have the elevation lift when it lifts off. And then when it reaches its altitude, they have another list. And then when it's time to descend, they have another list. And then from the wheels down to all that, and when it lands on the ground, they got a list. When pull up to the gate, and they got one list after another that they go boom, check, check, all the way through. I don't know if you knew that, but that's real. In this flight that we're on, we need that list. You need that to set that flight. And I tell people all the time, oh man, I believe I'm in the Lord, I can fly. I'm like, yeah, but do you know how to land? Because you can fly, but if you don't know how to land, it's going to be a very bad ending to your flight. A lot of people know how to get up. They don't know how to put it back down when they need to. Your whole flight was worth nothing because you over. So it's processes involved, especially operating in spiritual things. There's processes, and people just think, oh, I just say a prayer and blah, blah, blah. No, people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You're either going to learn how to work these principles. Wealth is a principle. It's a spiritual principle. Wealth's a principle. Success is a principle. Failure is a principle. They call the law of the spirit of life will make you free from the law of sin and death. So there's a law of life and there's a law of sin and death. I'm not making this up. If you don't believe in Bible stuff, that's your business. I'm just telling you, these is how the laws work. They are spiritual laws to success. God don't decide, okay, one day I'm just going to give you something. He's like, no, I put the laws in place. Either you do what you need to do or you don't. And you might have learned how to get by every week and pay your bills and make it. and you can do all that to the day you leave this planet. But if you want to grow, you have to learn, you have to have your list, and you have to learn how to navigate success. There's a process involved. Wins require discipline, structure, instruction, and guidance. Every step of the way. That's why successful people always say get a mentor. It's good to have one. Well, that's it for me for tonight. I think that's a lot.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a lot.
I always have a checklist.
Any last words before I go? Sheen, anybody? You want to pop and say anything before I get up out here?
I just want to say that was
Dynamic said, yeah, I need a recording of this live.
Yeah, this was fire, for sure.
Yeah, this is what I love to do. Help people win. Thank everybody for your gifts. Make sure you do the hot me on the way out. Esther says, yes, me too. Okay. Please and thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna come in. I was gonna come in at the end and tell everybody thank you and remind them, don't forget to get your heart meets and don't forget to claim your claims after you get your heart meets. Your claims is gonna have stuff from your comments and all that. You get points for all that. So don't forget to go in and send your heart meet, claim your gifts so you can level up.
So to get your hot me is that thing right above you there by your name, the little heart, you click that. And how do they do their claims again?
They click, once they send their heart meet, or even before they send it, they'll see that there's a lot of red things that say claim, claim, claim. You have to press all of those. It claims you. Once you give your heart meet, it shows you your levels. So you claim all of that, your level bar goes up.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. See, I'm learning this stuff. I just get on here and teach what my daughter and my wife get on here and they try to navigate through all of the fun stuff that comes with it. But this is where we park. Anybody else want to jump in before I go? Even if you just want to say thank you, that's fine. You can get in the chat and say thank you, something. Listen, the algorithm likes that. It likes the fact that.
And thanks, Shane. Also, thank you to Shane for coming in too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shane.
Yeah, Shane. Thank you for participating. Appreciate you. Well, good. Well, this is where we say good evening, good night, and appreciate your time. I hope you appreciate mine. But this is just the beginning of how we get to the levels that we've been created to get to. We don't have to beg for what God already made us for, and that's the beautiful thing. Once we get past that begging season, we walk into greatness with ease, and I love it, and you will too. You ready? Let's grow. I'm gonna let a lot of people out, and I'm gonna say good night.
Be Radical just followed you.
She always says a lot when she on with you. She ain't say nothing. I guess she was kind of blown away.
Yeah, it was heavy tonight. It was really good. A lot of information to make you think about me. Because you asked him why you want to show